Winston Churchill and Adolf Hitler represent two contrasting figures in the history of leadership during World War II, embodying vastly different ideologies, styles, and impacts on their respective nations and the world. Churchill, as the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, epitomized democratic leadership, resilience, and moral fortitude. His tenure began at a critical juncture in May 1940 when Britain faced imminent invasion. Churchill's leadership was characterized by his ability to inspire and unite the British people against tyranny, particularly through his stirring speeches that rallied national morale during the darkest days of the war. He believed in the importance of collaboration and communication, often engaging with his cabinet and military leaders to formulate strategies that would ultimately lead to victory against Nazi Germany. His approach was methodical yet adaptable, allowing him to pivot in response to battlefield developments while maintaining a clear vision for Britain's role in the war effort. In stark contrast, Adolf Hitler's leadership was rooted in authoritarianism and a totalitarian regime that prioritized aggressive expansionism and racial supremacy. Hitler's rise to power was marked by his ability to manipulate public sentiment through powerful oratory that incited fervor among his followers. His leadership style was hands-off in the early years but became increasingly interventionist as the war progressed, leading to disastrous decisions driven by ideology rather than strategic military considerations. Unlike Churchill, who valued input from his advisors and military leaders, Hitler often disregarded their counsel, believing solely in his vision of world domination. This rigidity ultimately contributed to the collapse of Nazi Germany as he failed to adapt to changing circumstances on the battlefield. Both leaders shared a remarkable ability to communicate effectively with their respective audiences. However, their messages were fundamentally different. Churchill's rhetoric focused on hope, resilience, and the defense of democracy, while Hitler's speeches were steeped in hatred and division. The consequences of their leadership styles were profound. Churchill's ability to foster unity among the Allies, particularly with figures like Franklin D. Roosevelt and Joseph Stalin, was instrumental in forming a coalition that could stand against Axis powers. Conversely, Hitler's inability to maintain cohesive relationships with his allies led to strategic failures that weakened his position. The legacies of both leaders are also reflective of their differing approaches to governance. Churchill is often celebrated as a symbol of resistance against tyranny and a champion of democratic values, whereas Hitler's legacy is marred by the atrocities committed under his regime, including the Holocaust. The moral implications of their leadership highlight a critical divergence. Churchill fought for freedom and human rights, while Hitler's regime was characterized by oppression and genocide. In summary, the battle of leadership between Churchill and Hitler during World War II illustrates not just a clash of military strategies but also a profound ideological struggle between democracy and totalitarianism. Their contrasting styles, Churchill's collaborative approach versus Hitler's dictatorial command, shaped not only their nation's wartime experiences but also the course of history itself. Understanding these differences is essential for comprehending the broader implications of their leadership during one of history's most tumultuous periods.